Today I'm going to teach you to do a water infiltration test. This measures the quality of your soil, the integrity of your soil, the structure of your soil. We're going to start by getting I'm going to start by showing you the equipment. You're going to need a pipe. This is a 6-inch pipe. It's exactly 150 millimeters across diameter. This is a 1 foot long piece. You could use half the size actually. I've sharpened one edge because I'm going to be hammering this into the ground down to 3 inches. So from the sharpened edge up until 3 inches, I've also put a mark to guide me while I push it into the ground. Pushing it into the ground, I'm going to be using a piece of wood on top and a mallet, something like a mallet. You can use a stone, you can use anything around you, to gently push it down into the ground up until that mark. After that, we're going to be pouring in exactly 450 millimeters of water. So to give yourself a good mark, we'll get the water in a jug, pour it into a bottle, and then put the mark on the bottle and use that bottle with you in the field all the time, the 450 mark. So we will then be going into the field and hammering the pipe into the ground, pushing it gently depending on how hard the ground is, and then pouring the water exactly 450 millimeters in without disturbing the soil. So you can put your hand inside there and pour it in on top of your hand, take it out. That's exactly about 1 inch of soil, water that should go on top of the soil. We're going to time how long it takes until it's absorbed into the soil. And we're going to do that twice. So we'll take the first reading and a second reading. And yes, yep, and you've guessed right. The faster your soil drains, excluding sands, but the faster your soil drains, the better it is in terms of storing water. That means that when it rains, your soil will be sucking in and storing that water. If your water stays on top of the soil as it's draining, it takes a long time to drain. If it takes anything more than 25 minutes, you've got a problem with compaction. We'll talk about that later. But let's get on to doing that soil test. I'm going to show you just how to prepare your pipe very quickly, and then we'll do some soil tests. So I'm really keen to have a look and see where that water went. I've put 5 loads of water into this pipe and it has just gone down really quickly. So I want to know, did it go out sideways or did it go straight down? So I'm going to take the pipe out and try to clear an area and dig down and see if I can get a bit of a profile. It might not be very clear from here, but I'm going to come up and take a photograph. It does look like the water has actually gone straight down, which is where we want it to do. So now that we've put down 2 loads of water, we're going to take the pipe out and cut right across that profile and see where the water went, whether it went straight down or whether it began to go sideways, indicating hard pan and the direction that your roots will eventually be growing in. The second soil test that we're going to be doing, the second soil health check, is going to be a slaking or a soil integrity test. Here we're going to take 2 samples of soil, one from the area that you're farming, the soil that you use, and the other from an area of undisturbed soils. And we're going to see what both of those look like when put under the same test, which we'll go into just now. The third soil health test we're going to be doing is looking at the rhizosphere. We're going to be pulling out a few plants and looking at what the root system looks like, how large it is, how dense it is, how long it is, but more importantly, what color and what is covering the root, actually the root hairs. Through the liquid carbon pathway, the plants produce those sticky sweet exudates that go into the ground to feed the microbes. And in the process, everything within the area around the roots gets stuck in and around the roots. That's where all of the magic is happening. So we are hoping to see that our roots, when we're doing our rhizosphere test, we're hoping to see a rhizosheath test, more importantly, it's the rhizosheath, that area right around the roots. We're hoping to see that it's covered with sticky things from in the soil. That will be, bits of the soil, bits of the humus, bit of the necromass, including the microbes, biology, etc. But that the roots come out thick and heavy and covered almost like in rastery sorts of strands, as opposed to coming out just clean white roots that have been sucking up synthetic fertilizers, or that are in such poor soil that the exudates and the microbial interactions with the plant are not actually happening. So let's have a look and see.